I think it was a big season. Obviously, like you said, is having to deal with a lot in such a short amount of time in one season. It's been up and down, and whether it's rotations or injuries or whatever, I just think that it's really helped progress my mindset, and my mentality going into it, just to be able to adjust to everything and being okay with it, and accept that's part of my role. That's the that's the role I accepted when I came here, and when I got signed, to know that that was going to be my position, and things were going to fluctuate, and I had to be okay with it and adjust on the fly. So I think that's only going to make me a better player and only make me mentally stronger. So um, I don't think it does anything but help me.
From last summer where, you didn't know if you were going to get picked up, you didn't know if you were going to get signed, and you come here and things overall went really well. Do you feel like you've kind of figured out not only what your game is and what your role is, but in some ways your place in the league
Yeah,
this year?
I definitely think so. I think it just shed light on it, man. I think it's tip of the iceberg type of thing with me, where I feel like I could be one of those guys that fluctuates, where it's kind of whatever a team needs from me. If you need a guy to come off the bench and bring energy and do that stuff, I can do that. I feel like I can step in and start. Like, it doesn't matter like what the role or what a team needs from me. I feel like I can fill that void. Obviously, like you said, it's just I think my game expanded shooting wise, being more efficient and being more consistent, and still learning how to do that year in and year out. And I just think that I took big steps, and I think I'm only going to take even larger steps after this going forward. So.
Caleb, with how you play this year, obviously there's going to be a market for you in free agency. It's possible for two things to be true. You can want to return here, but you can also be curious to see what you can get on the open market. Is that the case for you, where both of those things are true?
Obviously, being open-minded, but I want to be here. You know what I mean? I've got better here, and I believe I'll get better here. Obviously, I want the situation just want a great situation no matter what. But I just think that how close I've gotten with the guys and the people here, and how much better and more confident I've been here. And I feel like my team and my staff believes in me and believes that I'm going to get better here. So obviously, being open-minded is going to free agency. Like, have to be, and it's my first experience with that. But I want to be here. I love being here. I want to be here. So that's all I got on my mind right now until I see what happens or whatever type of experience I'm going to get in free agency. So yeah.
And Caleb, if you want to be here, and now you've seen kind of how you fit here over here, you mentioned working on your shooting and coming up this year. Do you see, like, to become the guy who's always in the rotation, there's never any question, what is the next step? Is it consistency with the three-point shot, or are there other things that you want to add?
Yeah, I just think it has to do a little bit of, obviously, like you said, just being more consistent, more efficient. But obviously, it takes time too. Just like even a year like this, it just puts experience under my belt, and that just gives me another year. And this is my first full season with the guys and with the staff. So I think that helps me for a time like maybe next year too, if we get in similar situations that. That's just me earning trust by being here too. You know what I mean? So definitely being more efficient and productive in those minutes. But at the same time, I just think it just comes with experience and being trusted the longer that I'm here. So.
Caleb, having along the line back here.
Oh shoot! All right.
Hey, along the lines of what you were speaking about, like wanting to be here and wanting to stay here, and how you like it. Until you see it, until you see what the Heat culture everyone talks about is, how do you explain it that, your confidence went up, your belief in yourself went up, all that stuff? How do you explain that? How do you conceptualize that to others who might not be in it?
Yeah, it's tough, man, because like you said, like if you never experienced that, it's hard for some people to get it. You know what I mean? If you're not seeing it firsthand. But the best way I can kind of explain it is. Where you just feel like you fit, you know what I mean? That's the only way you can really explain it. So if someone's somewhere where they aren't meshing well, or they're not, trying to figure it out, like, they won't get it. Yeah, but I feel like once I got here, I kind of knew pretty quickly, like, these are my type of guys, mentally and work ethic and to every aspect of, everything. in this organization. I feel like this is definitely my place for me. This is the place for me, and that's what it's felt like since I've gotten here. So, and that's why I feel like I made such a big jump so quickly while I've been here, and why I think that I'll make even bigger jumps while I'm here. So that's the only way. It's hard to explain to some people if they're not experiencing that.
Caleb, you talked about some of the stuff you want to improve on, but being your first playoff run and being a totally, I guess, different game in the postseason, is there any specific skill set that changed from the regular season to the playoffs that you're like, that's the one thing I have to focus on to beat in that time of year?
Yeah, obviously I think that the game slowed down a little bit, but you know, that's why it's so important for a guy like PJ and the role he plays, where he's kind of a tweener. Someone like me, I'm in a similar role as him, and just learning how to tweak your game to adjust to whoever you're playing. You know what I mean? So it slowed down a little bit. So to be able to be a playmaker in the way he playmakes, whether it's being a screener or a roller, and being a playmaker off the roll, or popping, more like kind of playing like a big, but even though I'm a guard, you know what I mean, or a wing or whatever. So just to be able to, I just think that versatility is huge in the playoffs. That's why you see guys like Draymond is so effective, you know what I mean, and he's so, you know, he makes their team go, and he's guys, besides obviously them having a lot of great shooters, but he playmakes, and he plays kind of like that big position, but he can guard multiple positions, and he can play make while he's being guarded by big. So just to be able to kind of take something like that away from and maybe implement that here like PJ does is, you know, something, another step I'll be able to take to expand my game.
All right, Caleb, thank you.
Appreciate y'all. No problem.